Good evening. We present the news summary. The Public Health Commissioner, Dr. Jude Gedeon, said the number of active cases of COVID-19 stand at 445, while the weekly average has tripled. He was speaking during a press conference this afternoon. Boileau, Soyal, Sopin, and English River are the places with most cases.
We are seeing a change in the trend of COVID-19 cases over a week ago. And we did inform that we are monitoring the situation to see how things progress, especially after the beginning of term. And sadly, to note, the upward trend in new cases of COVID-19 has more than tripled in 2 weeks since the beginning of September. We are now having 445 active cases in the country, and the 7-day rolling average is 46. Just about three weeks ago, it was just 12. And we know for a fact that when we get increasing number of cases, these are reported cases. They may not be the full picture. There are people who may or may not have symptoms and are not coming for testing. And we know that as cases increases, sooner or later we'll get an increase in admissions. People with more severe illness who require hospital care, who require intervention, and sadly may, if you have certain deficiency in your immune system, may lead to death, sadly. So this is why we're sending out this early alert for people to assume certain additional responsibility to protect themselves. We have not seen the need right now to change any public health and social measures on a legal, from a legal point of view, but we are advising the public to assume more responsibility towards protecting themselves and protecting others. There are some key messages we'd like to put forth.
Children between the ages of 5 to 11 should receive Pfizer vaccination this year. The decision has been approved by the Cabinet and was confirmed by the Public Health Commissioner during the press conference.
Hopefully it will be this year. We have a few things that needs to fall in place. We need to obtain all the necessary approvals, including the legal framework for legal approval for emergency use. We need to bring in the vaccine. We've already started discussion with COVAX to have the right formulation with the necessary syringes. We need to set up the logistics. This can be done quite fast. It's only then that we'll announce to the public when they can bring their children for vaccination. The importance of vaccinating this age group is people may say that, but these children don't get severe illness. But the children do fall sick sometimes. They contribute to spreading the infection. They infect their family members. And vaccinating this age group would help build up the community immunity to help curb transmission faster. So the benefit is very clear for both the child and the community.
It will be illegal to fish, be in possession or buy snappers and groupers of less than 32 centimeters as of next week. Other fish category to be included in the list are rabbitfish, parrotfish, and emperors. The measure will be enforced by the Fishing Authority through a regulation under the My Plateau Trap and Line Fishery Co-Management Plan. The implementing committee, comprising of different stakeholders, took the decision as part of efforts to control the depleting stock of the species.
An ad hoc meeting took place.
We believe that this is a nationally important initiative because it affects everybody in Seychelles. It does affect the tourism industry. We know that we have what I might call iconic gastronomic offerings that are profiled in every tourism guide I've ever read. And we are looking at endangered fish species, which are traditionally the ones that tourists enjoy, the snapper, the job. And we also have a very, very important local market. Local people, I enjoy eating those fish. But, you know, our aim as an association, whenever we're trying to persuade our members to take certain action or not take certain action, is to not only appeal to their sense of ethics, the fact that it's the right thing to do.
UNICE, in partnership with the United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office, organized a series of talks to commemorate International Day of Peace. That was yesterday. Participants were able to learn more about what different organizations such as the Prison Services, the United Nations, and the James Richard Mancamp Peace and Diplomacy Research Institute are doing to promote peace in the society. In his address, the UN Resident Coordinator, Alexander Mancamp, said Seychelles has the potential to be an example of what peace is supposed to be.
Engagement and passion.
We should be working to defeat our true enemies: racism, poverty, inequality, conflict, the climate crisis, and the COVID-19 pandemic. We should tear down structures that sustain racism and lift up human rights movements everywhere. And we should drown out the vicious voices of hate speech with the united and sustained cry for truth, understanding, and mutual respect. As my father, the late Sir James Manchamp, also said, in a human world, we will surely find difference of opinion which tends to divide us. But we must have sufficient vision to ensure that the things which unite us prevail. The Seychelles has what it takes to be an example for the region, but even more emphasis needs to be put on peace and harmony.
Focal points of several ministries, institutions, and civil organizations for projects and programs implemented by the Indian Ocean Commission in Seychelles attended a one-day workshop recently. The workshop at the Berjaya Beauvallon Bay Hotel was organized by the Indian Ocean Commission in preparation for its next strategic development plan for the next 10 years.
This workshop aims at consulting all the national stakeholders on what are their main priorities for the next 10 years at regional level. At the IOC, we are building up our new development strategic plan, and we need to hear the voice of our member states and take into account their priorities at national level, in terms of climate change, in terms of circular economy, fisheries, and so on and so forth, and then to agree at regional level on what are the issues at stake and to how the IOC should support its member states for the next 10 years. Now Seychelles is the last step for the building up of this this strategic development plan, and the objective is to present this new strategic plan to our Council of Ministers next February in 2023 for its adoption, and then we will be implementing for the next 10 years this strategic plan at the level of the IOC.
We have come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for your attention.